All right, hey guys, this is Alex with Athonia, and we're here with Matthew
Mork,
who we're gonna ask him a couple questions about what he thinks about the exhibit, Athonia, and how this played a role in your reversion. Is that correct?
Yes, reversion.
Tell me more about that.
So yeah, I for a time following my confirmation, I kind of fell away from the sacraments, from the faith for a little while. I was seeking things that the world had to offer, pursuing paths that, believing the lies that the world tells you that you'll find fulfillment in all these domains that are not God. And for so long, I kind of assumed this rational sort of skepticism towards the faith, sort of rationalistic attitude, scientistic attitude towards religion. And I could never fully open my heart just to the idea of the truth of the Christian faith. And really the Shrouded Turin, I was aware of it. I'd heard of it a little bit in our catechesis classes when I was younger. So between the Shroud and Eucharistic miracles, but I would say really the Shroud, it kind of reverberated in my head. I really couldn't get it out of my head because I knew that science proved that there was a man who was crucified in a very distinct manner from other crucifixion accounts, that this image was produced miraculously. We can't explain it. And it was really something that chipped away at the stone in my heart. And ultimately, I think the emotional impact that knowing that this was a truth that could not be explained by science, the only way to explain this would be through the miraculous case of course, Christ's resurrection, which faith tells us did occur. So yeah, I think being aware of the Shroud, being familiar with the Shroud, and just echoing in my head, that ultimately led to my reversion back to the faith.
What happened? What did you then?
Well, what I did then, I just started reading, started watching YouTube videos, among them Pints with Aquinas and Father Andrew Dalton's excellent interview on pints. And I just started participating in my campus Newman Center at the University of Kansas. Really growing in my prayer life, receiving the sacraments more frequently, and really encountering that healing and integration that our faith has to offer.
And what would you say to someone who might be going through the same situation that you were, possibly someone who has never heard of Christ or who was baptized, is in the church, but needs a reversion? How do you think the Shroud can play a role in evangelizing people that have left the faith or people that have never heard the faith?
Yeah, I would say you can read all the philosophical proofs for God's existence. You can read all of the apologetics books. You can listen to all of the apologetics. You can internalize all of the intellectual arguments, all the rational arguments for the truth of our faith, but ultimately you need something that's going to soften your heart. And I think when you're confronted with something that cannot be explained on rational grounds and these sort of scientific grounds that our culture, it's almost a religion, a cult of science in our culture to this day, or in our time. And the Shroud is something that they can't explain away. And that was huge to me, in that it really points to the truth of the claims of the gospel, the truth of Christ's resurrection, and the truth of the faith. So yeah, I would say keep an open mind and an open heart, investigate these miracles, especially the Shroud, especially the Eucharistic miracles. Read them with an open mind. Go further than the pop media articles casually dismissing and grossly misrepresenting the Shroud. Do an honest, intellectually honest investigation into these things, and I think ultimately you'll be confronted with a truth that you can't reject.
Thank you so much, Matthew.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Amen. So good. Can we post that on social media?
Yeah.